Peter, I'm excited to hear about Digital Capital Week. Can you tell us more about that?
Sure. Digital Capital Week is a festival from June 11th to June 20th here in the District of Columbia. It's the celebration of all things digital. So we'll be focusing on technology innovation, we'll be focusing on creativity, we'll be focusing on startups and venture creation, and social media for sure. There'll be events distributed throughout the city through the course of that 10-day period, but also as the festival organizers will have core content in our own venues.
I looked at the page that you sign up for that. It seemed to be a very interactive. It wasn't like you had everything all set and people, you know, sign up for these seminars and pay, you know, $600, $700, which is typical to go to a conference. It was very different. You were asking for a lot of participation to help present these, and I was a little lost about that. Can you explain how that works?
Sure. So almost everything about Digital Capital Week is free, first and foremost, which is the first difference.
That's
the only thing that people will really pay for will probably be like the opening and closing parties and any of the really fun stuff. We felt it was important to deliver the content, the knowledge that people are really thirsty for without a barrier.
How can you do that with all this like coordination? How can you make this like free? People are going to freak out. This is amazing.
They are freaking out. There's 3,000 plus people already RSVP'd.
Oh, wow.
So certainly through the support of our sponsors, you know, the Office of the Chief Technology Officer, the Office of Planning, Rock Creek Marketing, Palantir, O-Power. I'm totally going to mess up and not say all.
Okay.
There's a lot of them.
A lot of people are helping.
Exactly. So sponsors
really
help that. That's
this.
how we're able to pay for our venues. People do certainly believe in it.
Wow.
And we're not viewing this as necessarily a profit-driven initiative.
Right.
I have a very healthy and growing digital agency, and we do experiential marketing for big brands, and that's how we make, you know, our living. I don't necessarily need to monetize the festival necessarily. We certainly want to break even at least.
So this is a labor of love, really.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely.
That's fantastic.
And we do a lot of labors of love, actually. Well, not only, but most of my time is thinking about those things that aren't necessarily directly tied to our business that can support the community. That's why over the years we've brought together so many people and delivered so much. I think we've delivered a tremendous amount of value to the community.
That's so inspiring.
We've only just started.
This is great, and this is the first year, right? So a lot of excitement, and we were talking about the projects, and that had that inclusive aspect to it. Can you describe that a little more?
Sure. So we created our DCW Labs, right? And if you go to labs.digitalcapitalweek.org, you'll see a list of projects that you can lead or you can join. And some of those are design dev projects, right? So people are building a creative space finder. It's a big problem in the district where creatives, whether they be performing artists or otherwise, have a real difficult time finding a place to perform and rehearse and just get together and work for a week or a day or a month or what have you. So we're going to create that booking engine, essentially, I guess you would call it, so we can uncover all of these opportunities for people to grab space, to be together and collaborate.
Like
so that's one thing.
What we used to call a database, but something that people can access, basically.
Well, there's a database behind it for sure.
Wow.
Yeah, a simple website for people to be able to grab space. Then there's a 8th Street pop-up incubator that's being created, and 8th Street is an emerging neighborhood. There's an empty library kiosk on the corner of 13th and H that is being rehabbed right now for use during Digital Capital Week, so people can come and program sessions for local business and the local community to bring our talented artists and technologists into 8th Street, right? So we can spread that knowledge into different pockets of the city that it typically might not be in. Because 8th Street is emerging, you do have a lot of people who I guess you call them urban explorers and pioneers or what have you, that may want to stay there. Right. So the idea is, like, if we bring all this talent to a place during Digital Capital Week, do they stay and revitalize and enhance that neighborhood? So there's about, I think, 20 projects in the system now. A lot are digital divide focused, which is, I think, an incredibly important thing for us to focus on as the techno elite or digitalati or whatever people could call this community. And so we're going to be doing computer literacy classes in the Martin Luther King Jr. Library, teaching people the 101 of search. If you might not know, unless you think about the digital divide, that some people don't know how to search. Wow. And you're like, wow, I Google 5,000 times a day. That's easy, right? You don't know how to search. And also the 101 of social, right? So what do I need to know about Facebook from a privacy perspective? We know there's been a lot of change there recently, but also from a business perspective. How could a Facebook page affect my business in a good way? How does Twitter fit into that? How do all of these things fit into what I do?
So if I were a communicator and I was really excited about the idea of teaching blogging to senior citizens or anyone, there might be a space for me or someone else.
Yeah, if you go to the project lab, you'll see the one project that says computer literacy classes. You'll click on that link and you'll see there's some open slots to teach classes. And you just edit the wiki and put yourself in there, and all of a sudden you've grabbed a room to teach.